Welcome to GoodFinish. Very glad you're here with me this morning. And what I'm going to be doing is walking you through a quick setup of how you can create an event on GoodFinish and get it running, up and running, pun intended, as quickly as possible. So whether you're a long-time organizer of races or this is your first one, this guide will show you how to create an event quickly. So the first thing you need to do, of course, is sign up or sign in. If you click the Create Event button, it will actually set you up one time. So if you have an account already, you just sign back in. If not, you can continue with Google, as I typically do, and you'll be able to manage your account from the dashboard. And it will take you straight to the Create Event page. Now, the Create Event page has three sections to it. So on the left-hand side here, you'll see under Event Creator the different tabs or the different settings that you'll be able to create for your event. On the center, you have the details of the event, and then on the right-hand side, you have a live preview of what persons will see when they come on your landing page to register. Now, there are multiple ways to create your event. One of them is you can actually brainstorm. So you can talk the thoughts of your event out, and it will start to fill out things like the title, the date, and the description. So you basically are able to talk to it like you would an administrator. But in our case, we're actually just going to set up an event from scratch. We're going to fill in the fields ourselves so that you can see what the process is like. So let's start with the event name. So let's say that this will be the CD High School 20th anniversary reunion, right? So these would be persons within that high school. You would invite the actual persons who are in the reunion group, as well as persons who are related. And we're going to just set this for a date in the future. We're going to do June 27th. And like any good race, it needs to start early in the morning, so 5:30 a.m. Now, after you've done this, you have a lot of optional fields, including the currency and the format. So if you had a format where people were joining from across the world, you could change it to hybrid or virtual. And then if you want to specialize the currency, it can be USD, JMD, or other common currencies. You can give it a description. So we'll say the CD High invites you to its fundraising anniversary uh, race. All proceeds go to the new auditorium. And then, of course, you can add a summary underneath to say, join us for run and fun. Now, notice that on the right-hand side, the preview is updating live. So you'll know what the web page will look like when persons come to register immediately. And then like any good software, you should save before you move on. And it will make sure you have a copy of this draft in anytime you need to come back and edit. So we're going to go on and say who the organization is. So I'm just going to enter basic org details. So CD High, Christopher Durrell. And then of course, email, phone number, etc. are optional. I'm going to just do chris@example.com. And the website as well is optional. And then you can move on to the next step and you can upload your logo as well. You can give it a venue. So we'll say University of the West Indies, Mona. And we'll say that the start line is actually at Ring Road on UWI campus. Now you'll notice that it actually drops down options from that country. So you can select it and it will give you a GPS location so persons can navigate to the start easily. If you have special directions, you can add them here. So in our case, it would be 3 laps around the campus, finish at the Scotiabank ATM. And then if you have an image ready for your route, of course, you can upload it here. So we have a sample one. And if you have a GPX file, which is a special file format for GPS files, you can upload it here as well. It will give more specific turn-by-turn directions. If not, that's fine as well. And then if you have any other details about the course, so if you have a special course like a half marathon that goes through certain gates at certain times and says you need to get there by 9 o'clock or the road will reopen, things like that, those would go into course description and additional notes. For us, we don't have any of that right now. So we get to the most important part, which is the races. So any event can have multiple races underneath it. And a race is basically a segment. So you can have a 5K. In this case, this is just called 5K. You could have two races, one for the 5K runners and one for the 10K runners. Or you could have three different 5Ks, one for kids, one for adults, and one for walkers, for example. So under races is where you would separate the different groups who are registering. And in this case, we're just going to call this 5K runners. We'll set the price to $25 and the distance would be 5K. But of course, you can change the distance as you need to. We don't want to put a limit on this one, and we will leave the start time here as 9 a.m. Actually, that would be a very hot start time in reality, but of course, you can update it yourself. And then in the description, you can tell persons this is for kids. This is for kids under or between 6 and 13, so that they're guided when they register. So we're going to go on. For the sake of this demo, I'm actually going to make this a free ticket. And we'll move on to the next step. And here's where you can customize your landing page a little bit more. So we're going to put an aerial shot of Yui for the hero. And then for the cover image, we're going to actually put a nice forest track. And if you don't have any, that's fine as well. You can generate images. We give you about 3 generations using AI to create your own image by describing it. Of course, you want to customize your brand to match a little bit better. So we can change that to blue and we'll change the accent color to green. And you'll see that up top now it's changed to CD high with a green background and you have a blue overlay. Bib pickup and race date information, you'd be able to add any additional details here. So we just say pickup at UE Global HQ. And then after you've input that information, you have the waiver. Now, the waiver is very important. And we've given you a couple of templates that you can work with, like a standard road race template. But if you have your own legal waiver that you've prepared or that you already use, you can always enter it under custom and just type it in this section here. And so at that stage, we're ready to move to the next step, which would be custom registration. If you have any other fields that you want to ask persons about, like their t-shirt size, for example, whether they would like a cup of coffee at the end of the race, or who they're affiliated with, which group they're affiliated with, you can add them under custom registration questions. And then at that point, we are pretty much ready to go. So the only other thing we'll add is a schedule to say, for the 6 a.m. race, you really want to get there for 5:30. Roads close. And then we can save and we can go ahead and publish. And that's it, your first event created in just about 8 minutes. So we can go to the events tab and see all of your events listed here. And we're gonna just look at what's come up. And we have the CD High School 20th anniversary reunion. You click on the event and you're able to manage it because this is your dashboard now, where you manage all of your races. And you can see that you can edit the event if you have changes of detail to do. You can unpublish it because it has been published. Once there are registrants, you'll be able to view them here, as well as you'll be able to manage and upload the results as a spreadsheet here for them to view online. So we're going to go ahead and just view this event like your participants would. See, it has your branding. And if your organization has a logo, it will come up at the top here above the name. And we're going to go ahead and register for this free race right now. Now you'll notice that my details are already here. That's a great feature of GoodFinish, which is that it will take the user's account details once they've signed up and fill them in. And so once you've finished your profile, which I haven't as yet, it will fill out your gender, your date of birth, and other details that don't change or don't, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. I'm just gonna go a couple years in the past. Let's just say 2004, so I'd be about 22. Male, shirt size, and for now I'll just say friends, and 876. I'll put my number as well. And then I have reviewed the waiver, and I agree to the terms of use, and that's it. I'm in. So as a racer now, I will get my race packet here, as well as my QR code that I'll be using for check-in on race day. And I can add it to my calendar or my wallet. If I'm on mobile, it will add to your digital wallet, right? So you'll get an ICS file that will add to your calendar. And then you can now run to your runner dashboard and you'll be able to see all the races that you have registered for. So everything is here. It's paid up because it was free. And I have my QR code so that they know that I'm a valid participant. All right. So we are good to go. So that's how easy it is to actually set up an event on GoodFinish. And I'm looking forward to supporting you as you begin to manage your own races. This will be our joy to make sure that you're able to manage races and results way more effectively for your upcoming races and keep things on brand so that persons have an excellent experience running with you. So my name is Chris, and if you have any questions, please reach out to me. And until then, let's make sure we have a good finish.